I'm an Air Force airman. I am a bow hunter. I am a fisherman. I am Mark of all trades. Hey guys, welcome back to Mark of all trades. Thanks for tuning in. So today we're going to be talking about archery. More specifically, we're going to be talking about archery form. I've been shooting archery since I can remember, and I've always loved to do it. But one thing that I know is that I'm not consistent. I know I don't have like the proper archery form, and I really don't have that background knowledge. So recently I came across John Dudley's page, Nock on Archery, and he did a School of Nock. And I really respect the things that he's done in his career and the content that he puts out, because ultimately I'm going to start his School of Nock, and he's not charging me anything. Anybody can do it. You just go onto his YouTube page and you can participate. So I'm going to go week by week, and hopefully you guys can join it with me too, and we can both go through this process together. So week 1 is stamina. So you're basically building up the muscles that you haven't been using. And his homework project for this week is that we shoot 40 arrows a day. So what he says, with those 40 arrows, you're going to shoot 10 sets. So each set he calls an end. So each set is going to consist of 4 arrows. And what he wants you to do is go and get the bullseye targets that have 3 on one paper target. And you'll be shooting for the center of each one of those 3. And then off to the side for your 4th arrow, you need to make a dot, and you're going to shoot at that dot, just so that you have a spot for all 4 arrows. One thing that he emphasized on is to not keep score. You want to make sure that you're just getting these repetitions in and kind of have your mind free a little bit, just so that you're really focused on the reps and making good quality shots. So again, he said that not to keep score on the actual shots that you're making, just make good quality shots. And so with that, each day you can add on another arrow, or you can add on another end. And so you just really want to build up the repetition and the muscles of, maybe you haven't been shooting for a while. Maybe you have, and you maybe want to skip this week, or just really hone in. So I think I've been shooting nearly every day before I started this School of Nock, and I was shooting probably anywhere from 20 to 30 arrows, but that would be kind of throughout the day. Whenever I had a break, I would just go shoot 5 or 6 arrows and then come back a little bit later. So going forward, I'm going to make sure that I block out an allotted amount of time and make sure that I'm getting my shots and repetitions in that. Anything over 40 would be just extra on top. Another thing that John talks about is document the process. And so if you look on his Instagram, he just posts nothing but archery stuff, which is great. That's fabulous. But he said you want to make sure that you know where you're starting at. Where's your starting point? And if you're documenting this, you can always go back on, let's say, a low day that you're not shooting too well, and go back and say, hey, look, this is where I started, so we're actually doing a little bit better. So you can document that progress. So even when you feel like you're not shooting well, you really are when you go back and look at where you first started at. So that's kind of a cool thing that he recommended, and I'm definitely going to do. So if you guys want to track my progress or go with me as well, I'll put the link to my Instagram, and you can check that out and do this School of Nock with me. So I'm excited to do it. I think it's going to be great. So for most of this, I've just been shooting in my backyard, and every once in a while I'll take my targets and go somewhere else just to shoot at a different venue. So that's kind of nice. So this week I've been really trying to, like I said, get those reps in, and being able to shoot at different places is just a nice change of pace. So one thing that John was talking about is that you don't want to shoot for score. So since then, I don't have one of those Vegas targets, the paper targets. So I'm just kind of modifying that a little bit, and I'm just shooting at my Morel targets. They have the little dots on them.
So these are the 2 shots that I had. Obviously, I was aiming here and here, and I'm trying to really focus on the break instead of me just punching the trigger every time. I know you guys probably saw this video that I'll put a link here about how I was just punching the trigger constantly. So now I'm just trying to really focus on keeping my shoulder down and then pulling back to the 12 o'clock position, just having that clean break.
And so that's been working pretty well for me. And I'm just trying to be consistent in my shots and just their bare basic form that I know, I'm trying to stay true to that. And so if you guys checked out my Carter Wise Choice video, I'm not the best whenever it comes to the thumb release. I'm pretty new to it. I love it. I love shooting it, and it's a ton of fun. And I know you guys kind of saw me just pulling the trigger so hard, just tapping it every single time. So one thing that I'm really trying to focus on is getting my anchor point and not punching the trigger every time with my thumb. So I'm just trying to have my thumb on there when I pull back or when I come set, and then put my thumb on there and then slowly try and pull my elbow back. And it's just one of those things that I'm working on, and hopefully when you guys are watching this and reviewing it, obviously I'm sure that there's going to be some people that are going to critique my form, and that's going to be a work in progress. It's not perfect. If you're struggling with something in your form, let me know in the comments, and let me know if this School of Nock has helped you, or maybe even some other form of archery training. I'm curious to see what you guys' thoughts are on that. Well, that'll be it for week 1. Tune in next week because we're going to be going over week 2, and it's going to be talking about building a base. So we're going to work on our feet placement and where they should be. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel, comment, let me know how I'm doing, and like the video, and we'll catch you next week for week 2.